Hi, I am Tiffany Hall, a school administrator, and I've decided that my time is spent a lot of times just doing paperwork, and that's not what I like to do. So, I have devoted 5 minutes every day, or am going to devote 5 minutes every day to sharing a tidbit about curriculum and instruction. And I do, in case you're wondering, have my sidekick over here, Miss Heiss. Go ahead, Miss Heiss, say hello.
Hi.
And so if you see me laughing, it's because of her. But I need her with me. She gives me the confidence I need. So, anyways, I said, Miss Heiss, what do I do first? What do I talk about first? What did she say? She said the importance of lesson planning. And so, I know in a lot of schools that it's really not even used. And you all know, and I knew as a teacher, nobody was checking them. And if they did, it was just a check off on the spreadsheet. It wasn't that they actually were reading them or knew anything about them or what I was teaching or how to help me. But if you have good instructional leaders, they really are looking at that information to help support you. So looking at resources, helping to make sure you're on target with pacing, and that doesn't mean breathing down your neck and so that you can't get done what you have to get done in a school, but that they're there to help you be accountable for what we have to be accountable for at the end, which is our student learning. Which kind of ties into our standards. So there's a lot of naysayers about standards, but let me say this as a mom, not as an administrator. Back in the day, people could teach whatever they wanted to, and so you'd have a social studies teacher teaching Egypt all the way from August all the way to December. And that's really not fair to my child who, is going to go to college and who is going to be expected to know Western civilization from the beginning of time until present day. And so that's why standards are there. They're protection for students so that they are getting everything that they need. And not only that, but at the same time that we know that it's level playing field because all of the students should be getting that. Okay, so that's a just side note. So, but standards are important because everything you do in your lesson should be tied to your standard. Is there room for the stuff that you just love sometimes? Absolutely. But you should be focused. And I see Miss High staring at me, so I'm going to laugh sometimes. I'm sorry. You should be focused on the backwards design model. It's really the best way to go. So you have your assessment. You know what you want the kids to, or I hope you do. You know what you want the kids to learn in the end. So you take that assessment and then you design from there. You make sure that you have assessments, you have assignments, you have projects, you have engagement that's all based around them learning that content for that end summative assessment. And if you've aligned everything, it's going to be a breeze for your students at the end. You shouldn't be making that test at the end and thinking, did I cover that? Did I not? Those lesson plans lead you into what we know, that you've covered all the material that's required by the standards and that the kids are going to be able to be successful and show you that on the assessment. And so those lesson plans really are important, and they're a guideline too. They keep you in check with what we know is good teaching. I was one who I had to have an agenda up on the board, and I had to list minute by minute what I was going to do because can you imagine? I spent a little bit more time sometimes on things I shouldn't. And so I had to keep myself on track with that schedule. Plus, it gives the kids, it's just like you. Do you ever go to those professional developments and you're just waiting and waiting for the thing to be over and you can't even gauge when it's going to be over because nobody gave you an agenda? So you're thinking, is it now? Is it then? When will it be? But when you have that agenda, you know I've only got 2 more things on the list, so I'm going to pay attention because this is almost done. So it's that same guideline for the kids. So just know that lesson plans really are important, and if you have good instructional curriculum people in your buildings, they're going to be looking at them to support you. And not only that, their documentation. So if somebody says you didn't do this or you didn't cover this, you have that documentation to say, yes, I did right here. Or also to go back and reflect, write notes on it. Make sure that you're telling yourself, the kids didn't get this time. I need to go back and change this for next year. Or the engagement was low here. What can I do to get better engagement? But they really are, when used effectively, a great tool for short-range planning. So I hope you have a great Monday.